speaking plainly and directly for Poland and our European partners, and I hope for the entire NATO, it must be obvious that national borders cannot be changed by force. They broadly understood security of Poland, but I want to start with the context that has made security a priority for every country in Europe today, namely the situation in Ukraine. After preliminary talks that are to prepare the meeting of Presidents Trump and Putin, and the position of European countries developed by us over the last several dozen hours. Speaking plainly and directly for Poland and our European partners, and I hope for the entire NATO, it must be obvious that national borders cannot be changed by force. Over the joint position, it was published, and for us, it is absolutely crucial that Russia is aware and the Russian authorities are aware that the West, including European countries, will not accept Russian conditions that would simply involve the occupation of Ukrainian territories. I am saying this not only because Ukraine in the war with Russia needs support and solidarity from the West, but primarily due to the security of Poland. We all already know, and it is both an American diagnosis and that of other NATO countries, that Russia will pose a challenge or even a threat to the countries of the region, including Poland, in the coming years. And that is why we cannot allow Russia to emerge from this conflict both strengthened and convinced that it can violate borders or seize foreign territories with impunity, and that the world will agree to it. So the European and Polish stance must be absolutely clear here. We also hold the position that decisions about this potential exchange of territories, as it is being loudly speculated about right now, and other conditions of peace must all be agreed upon with the involvement of Ukraine and all those countries in the negotiations. So for Poland's security, it is also important to respect the principle of nothing about Ukraine without Ukraine. Destabilization in the region, aggressive Russian policy, the threat of a global conflict related to US-China tensions. All this means that there is no date from which we can say, now there is peace and quiet. You can already lower your hands. You don't need to prepare. You don't need to arm yourself, modernize. So we really started the process of modernizing the Polish army and Polish production and building this Polish sovereignty in terms of armaments with a long-term perspective. But we must be ready for all possible circumstances before 2027. And it is very important for us to achieve such capability, full defense capability, also in agreement with allies. So regardless of the Ukrainian scenario, Poland and NATO and the European Union must be jointly ready for potential threats or acts of aggression from the eastern side. And when it comes to the confusion and controversies and such examples of terrible ideas regarding the spending of funds from the National Recovery Plan first of all, I would like Tofoba, regardless of the effectiveness of PIS propaganda, for the truth to finally reach everyone who comments on these issues. Program for financing the losses of Polish hoteliers, restaurateurs, food suppliers, that is from the area known as Horeca. Yes, it is a program that PES came up with. The problem with the National Recovery Plan and with the entire plan, not just the percentage of funds spent on the hotel and restaurant industry, was that due to the PIS blockade, Poland might not have managed to spend these funds in time. In connection with this, various ways were sought to get as much money as possible to Polish beneficiaries quickly, because otherwise these funds would simply be lost. And 100% of the responsibility for this years-long mess falls on the predecessors who blocked it, and as a result also gave us very little time to be able to spend these funds properly and for these funds to reach Polish companies. In order to manage to spend these funds, the Ministry of Funds and Regional Development decided to relax procedures so that this money could reach the people. And some took advantage of this, taking money for, I mean, we're not really talking about, fortunately, at least for now, we haven't found any corruption or theft of these funds. Rather, I would say such carefree spending on things that rightly make people at least wonder, if not annoy them. But as I said, we will examine each case so that, in fact, in those cases where the abuse is obvious, these contracts are being annulled. But I would like us not to go crazy. The overwhelming majority of these funds went to Polish small and medium-sized enterprises to compensate them for losses resulting from COVID. The American side also committed to consulting its position with European partners before the meeting in Alaska.